but you will go down as the greatest president in Africa if you appoint a Mama Mboga to the cabinet secretary, a Boda Boda to cabinet secretary. If you make sure before the end of your term, you take us to a referendum. I can take us to a referendum. I thought about it. I can start it now. It is constitutional. Yeah. But if the president can take us to a referendum to reduce the number of governors and counties, atawacha legacy yenye itakuwa celebrated internationally.
It's a beautiful morning and we have here the one and only activist, Saizin activist. Tumempatia jina officially the president of comedy as well. Akona titles mingi, nabii, prophet. Yaani uko na mambo mingi sana. Na leo luku imeweza.
Ilibidi weza.
Ilibidi? How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm happy. I'm joyful, I'm jumpy. Nasikia poa sana. Kuanzia jana sijalala vile nimelala leo. Hata nimechelewa huku Citizen.
Kikubwa kimekufurahisha ni kipi?
Ni kile rais alifanya kwa kuwafire wale cabinet secretaries. Na ilikuwa kitu ya kwanza tulikuwa tunaomba. Hata ukisikia kwa ile speech yangu ya nabii, it was number 1. So ni kama alianza na hiyo. Na akimaliza speech akasema we are going to do more changes and more firing. So na ngoja kuona kifaya hawa watu wa Kenya Power. Simumia hapa sana tokens.
Sana.
Ken Jens, KBC, hizi maparastatal wote waende. So me I'm very happy. I'm extremely happy. And president has stopped listening to his people and now he's listening to the people. And I get, he used to listen to his people, now he's listening to the people. And he's on the right track because the voice of the people is the voice of God. Umelewa? Na niliambia plug juzi, ndio aliniuliza na kiburi sana, wewe ni nani? Unaongelesha rais kama nani? Na sipo nini? Nikama plug if he fires. If he fires, ameanza kuingia, he might be creating the greatest legacy of any Kenyan president or African president. And what he needs to do is make sure now that he has the space. Rais amepewa opportunity ya kutoka mabeste yake. Unajua kutoka mabeste yako ni ngumu sana. Tudi mimi nikupea job, siwezi kukunyang'anya. Lakini watu wote wakisema utolewe nitakwambia Tudi, sio mimi. So akona opportunity ya kumake history and kumake Kenya a trend worldwide by number 1 appointing a Mama Mboga cabinet secretary and appointing a Boda Boda cabinet secretary.
How is that possible?
It's possible because out of 5 Boda Bodas, 3 are graduates. Hata hapa nje ukienda uangalie sahi. Just pick 5 randomly. Watatu ni graduates wa KU ama UN. And after those 3 wenye ni graduates, 1 akona first class honors.
Let me ask,
Yes, ask.
Maybe Eric, if an opportunity was presented to you, ukwe one of the CS maybe in the next cabinet. Unaweza kubali?
Mimi hata sitaki kuwa CS. Mimi nataka kuambia President Ruto. Hapa kama mjadala wa leo na muomba ya kwamba aniite, aniulize, Eric, kwa nini umeshikwa for 2 years? Ni nini uliona? Ni nini ulitamani? What was in your heart and your brain and your spirit and your soul? Why did you stop comedy and start going to the street?
So right now you're ready to meet him?
Yes, I want to advise him. I want to tell him I'm happy with him. He's listening to the people.
Remember, Sai pia hana an official advisor.
Hana official advisor. Me, I'll tell the president why in 2022 ending. So it's 2.5 years. I started going to the street and my message has never changed. It has been corruption, na corruption ni CSS. Hapo ndio naanza hapo. So, Mr. President, call some of us. Call some of us.
You are ready.
Yes, and ask us, Eric, ni nini hiyo uliona?
Sasa hivi unajua kusema awaite, probably watadhania now you're ready for dialogue.
Not dialogue.
Okay.
We're ready to give the president spiritual advice. Shikos, unajua kile kitu tumesema imehappen. Si ndio? Ilianza huko na Ezekiel Mutua. Hakuna kitu tumesema ja happen. If I was the president, I would sit back and say, ni nini hii? You get? Yeah? But if the president wants to win, cabinet yake isikuwe na politicians. Ikuwe na Wakenya. Ikuwe na Wakenya. Ikuwe na young people. Yeah? Because revolution has been pushed by the young people. So I take his time, I breathe in, I breathe out, aombe, I seek wisdom, I seek advice, yeah, before I appoint. Tutaka tusirudi sikie ni coalition government of parties tena. Toka tumerudi back to penye tulitoka. Sisi kuna kitu tuko nayo, kuna kitu tumeona na tunaweza saidia rais.
So,
that I can tell you.
So Eric, at this point you are supporting President Ruto as we speak right now.
You see, even in war, when you get if ukipata gains, sasa tumepata gain, you retreat, you breathe, you re-strategize, you wait. So President Ruto ali move chess share. Tukasema noma. So that namsupport, but nimefurahi na yeye. Because he has listened to the people. President Ruto has always been listening to his people. I can tell. Anaambiwanga iko nini. Hao ni TikTokers. Yeah? Hao ni cloud chasers. Yeah?
So umekuwa kwa street for like 2 years now as we speak. What is going to make you go back again to the street? Because mambo ni mengi.
If the president does not fire the inspector general, if the president does not fire all parastatal heads, we will go back to the street louder, stronger, bigger, noisier, messier, if it does not do that.
Kenyans have also been concerned about this office, the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Because wengine wanasema it's not in the constitution and things like that. Why is your stand as Eric Omondi?
Mr. President, I know Musalia Mudavadi campaigned with you. I know he supported you, and I feel you. In life, it is important to reward, to say thank you. For truly nikuja nikusupport. Si nilikuja nini yako? Hiyo ukicelebrate 100.
Yeah.
So uliniambia thanks. Mr. President, I understand that Mudavadi supported you. But you have an opportunity given to you by Kenyans to do the right thing. Mr. President, do not include any person that people expect or know in your government.
So you think the position should also be
It is not constitutional. It is the easiest to abolish.
You're from a morning show, and you think kuna positions pia that should be reduced.
Yes.
Labda unaweza ongea.
Women reps.
Yeah.
We had a clause, Shiko, you're a woman, in the Finance Bill 2024 that was going to tax women's pads. And it was discovered and brought on the limelight by men, young men. We had a clause that was going to tax pads. And it is young people, Gen Zs, who are men, who are fighting and discovered the pads in the Finance Bill. While we have 47 women reps, what are they repsing? If not women. They could not come together in a forum of 47 and a manner and raise their voice and refuse kusikue na pads. Kazi ya women rep ni nini? That's number one. Mr. President, toa.
Women.
Yeah. Katakan referendum. Number two, we need to reduce the number of governors to 24, Shiko.
From 47.
From 47 to 24 counties.
That's almost half.
Almost half. The state of Texas in the US, it's led by a governor. Effectively, do you know Texas is twice the size of Kenya? Kenya inaingia kwa Texas mara mbili, inaliona governor effectively. Unaona kitu tunapenda Kiambu na Tattoo City.
Yeah.
It's just the tip of an iceberg. We need to reduce counties by half, by more than half. 24. Tukireduce counties inamaanisha tuko na 24 governors, tuko na 24 senators. Inatoa burden ya tax kwa wananchi.
And probably, do you think it's possible, or rather, do you think it will be effective, like as soon, because hey, Gen Z wanataka vitu zifanyike
Haraka.
Yeah, will probably take 5
Right
Unajua
now,
wewe ni
today,
hotspots.
mzee tunamalizia. Right now, Shiko, you can see I'm very upbeat. Nimefurahi sana.
Yeah, true.
Right now, as Eric Omondi, for the first time, I'm not demanding from Ruto. I'm not demanding. For the first time, I am suggesting. I am proposing. I am requesting. Sasa tone yangu imechange. Naomba Mr. President, it will take time. But before you leave office, Mr. President, remember you are the last of your generation. You could be greater than Kibaki, you will be greater than Uhuru, than Moi, even, okay, the founding fathers Tamguza. But you will go down as the greatest president in Africa. If you appoint a Mama Mboga to the cabinet secretary, a Boda Boda to cabinet secretary, if you make sure before the end of your term, you take us to a referendum. I can take us to a referendum. I thought about it. I can start it now. It is constitutional.
Yeah.
But if the president can take us to a referendum to reduce the number of governors and counties, atawacha legacy yenye itakuwa celebrated internationally. Because pesa mingi, we thought we devolved services, we devolved corruption. Counties are more corrupt than the national government. Nashiko, mimi sina mbio juu, tunaenda step by step. Executive, we are done. Not completely, but we are done. County, we are coming. Parliament, nimewambia, mimi wenye rais alisign IBC, nilisema yes. Sasa naombanga tu nasema, nangoja tu hivi nasema tu IBC ngie.
Are you suggesting a dissolve pia parliament?
Hiyo tuachie.
2027?
Hawatafika. Wale walivote yes. Hawatafika Shiko. Niseme ingine, hawatafika. We are going to recall all of them. Hawatafika 27 ya nini? Hata wezi enda funeral saizi. Hata wajaenda ushago, wamejifunga, hata wendi church. Hata wezi kuja hapa. Shiko, fiki 2027. Plan is simple. You Ruto tuachie. Amesign IBC, a constitute IBC, tuachie. Tuko na energy. Unajua Gen Z na millennials, tuko na time, hatuna employment. We are going to recall every MP that voted yes.
Wale ambao wali apologize.
Kwanza hao ndo tunaanza nao. Kwanza don't apologize. Tuanza na wewe. Shut nisikas. Usiapologize, atutaki. Kama kuna mtu wataka dialogue na ulisikia vitu wako nasema hiyo time. Kwanza kuna mmoja alikuja akasema iliniuma. Wawili ni mabeste wangu, zao sitaja jina zao. Mmoja alikuja akasema kwa TV akasema, Mr. Speaker sir, I went to Kenyatta University and I am an editor. Mr. Speaker sir, I am a graphic designer. Those things that you're seeing, Mr. Speaker, are doctored photos and videos.
Yes.
Mwingine na best yangu akasema ile siku the first time Gen Z walienda tao walikuwa wengi, mlikuwa kama 10,000. Ati ali drive from State House ndio wakaenda kupitisha. Akasema akienda nini? Akasema kwa parliament. I'm just from State House. I drove through Kenyatta Avenue. I didn't see any demonstrations. Akaulizwa, you didn't see anyone? No, I saw some TikTokers. I saw some young people dancing and with phones and iPhones. Yeah. But I didn't see any demonstrations.
Kuna pia yule wa KFC, iPhone.
Kuna ule mama alisema bado mtanivotia na nimevotia yes na nitalekuja na pesa na nini. Si ndio? Yeah. They are going home. President Ruto, hiyo sikusumbue, we deal na nini? Na parastatals. Deal na tuachie legislature.
Hata sishughulike nayo.
Rais tulia. Wewe hakikisha kuna IBC. Hawafiki wanafika kufanya nini? Kama kwa hawezi enda, hata we are doing them a favor. The people shouted loudly no. Yeah. And you went against them as their representative. You no longer represent us. You are thieves. You are conmen. And if actually we won't stop there. Tukisha watoa wanyamaze. Wakiongea kamiti.
Maybe Mr. President, there is some conversations around the scopes of Gen Zs are pushing the button a bit too far, especially after hashtag Ruto must go, ilianza ku make way online. Where maybe do you think that Gen Zs, first of all, do you think that the Gen Zs and the youth that are going on the streets are pushing the button a bit too far? Alafu pia, now that the cabinet was dissolved, alafu kuna watu wanataka now, because
it is a decision that was triggered by what was happening on the streets by the voice of people. So people are asking, they want now to participate in now the reconstitution of
the government.
cabinet.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you think that will go, and what's your opinion on that?
So that is where Ruto will win or lose. What he does next. What he's done now, he's on the right path now. Yeah? What he does next will determine whether he stays on the right path and we go back to the street. Let me help you understand the Gen Zs. And I think I have the moral authority to speak on this issue. Because I think, saa zingine pia, because nimelala kwa flaws mingi za cells mingi, na nimeangushwa hata sasa niko na uchungu hapa kutoka kwa farasi. I think I have the right to say what I'm about to say. I think I understand what the demonstrations are about because I started them 2 years ago. I think I have the scope of what we want and how we want it because I started it 2 years ago. Actually, to be precise, 2.5 years ago. Nilianza na ile Play 75. The Gen Zs, if I may quote one pastor, is a hammer that God is using to change things in Kenya. The Gen Zs have done their part.
Yeah.
Wamekuja waka change systems, waka shake foundations. Mungu amewatumia. But me where I'm standing at right now, today, after kitu Ruto alifanya jana, I want to stand back and observe for a day or two. What will the president do next? Then from there, I can tell people, ndio hiyo tunaipata. That's what nimezistipulate hapa.
Yeah.
Fire so and so, fire the IG of police, reduce governors, appoint mama mboga. And hiyo mama mboga mimi na insist najua kwa nini. Trudy nikikupromise kitu hapa Kenya, lazima nikipromise yangu. That's the only way tuta fight corruption na tutakuwa accountable. Nikikupromise kitu lazima nikisema tutafanya interview hapo India Citizen at 8. The president never talked about young people, or he did kidogo, never talked about doctors. The president never talked about lawyers. He never talked about surgeons. He talked about mama mboga and boda boda. Severally, continuously, consistently, persistently. He said, huyu mama mboga, huyu boda boda, tukiingia pale, tunainua huyu. Tunatengeneza serikali ya mama mboga.
Ya hustler.
Mr. President, appoint a mama mboga. Mr. President, appoint a mama mboga wako. Wako na wako na madigrii. Wako hapa Kilifi na pale Kakamega. Tutawapata.
Yeah.
Na mama mboga can also be symbolic. So lazima kuwe ni mama anauza mboga.
Okay, Eric, now that wewe ndo.
Yes.
After Ruto cabinet, so many people felt kwamba that is not the solution but at the same time ingia pale go on X watu wana argue that some of the CSs kama Murkomen wanafaa wafanyie uchunguzi sasa na EACC because they are no longer in the cabinet because Murkomen na so many cases watu wanasema alikuwa on a final part ya police ya KIA some groups jina toka wapi. Do you think kwamba
Nikutana na wengine Kisumu jana.
Yeah.
Wanaka waindi hivi.
Yeah. Do you think the president anafaa sasa kutake that role ya sasa jamaa ametoka pia anasema fight corruption, achunguze wenye sasa walikuwa kwa power na walikuwa wana flaunt money zenye atujua mtoa.
So one thing at a time. Tusichanganye station. Tusianze kuingia kotini na Murkomen sahi. Energy itaenda hapo. So let's fire first. Let's finish what we started. Tumeanza na cabinet secretaries, tunaenda parastatals, tunaenda IG of police. Kuna mtoto hata tujazika alishutiwa na polisi. Kuna watu wamekufa wengi sana mnajua. IG aende, we deal with the hatuna nini, Gen Zs ni wayang. Tuko na time bro. Our MPs walivote yes waende si 2027. Hiyo ni insult to watu walikufa. Waende sahi. Tukimaliza hiyo tukae chini tuseme aya wapi Murkomen come. Atuachi mtu. But tusianze kudivert. Tuanze kusema ati twende kotini nini. Tumalize kazi. Tuoshe nyumba. Let me tell you. Kenya ni nyumba inanuka. iko na choo 3 hazijaflashiwa wiki 2. Iko na panya zilikuwa ziko poison zimekufa kama 10. Iko na vyombo hazijaoshwa for 2 months. Ni nyumba inanuka, lazima tuioshe kwanza. Tuoshe vyombo, tuende chini ya kitanda tuoshe, tutoe kila kitu nje. Mattress, iko na mattress watoto walikojolea, haijaitolewa. Umeona hiyo picture? So we clean the house first. Then after we clean the house, tuseme sasa tuna change nini? Tupige rangi, tu change dirisha, tununue mattress mpya. Hiyo ndio sasa akina Murkomen. For now, we just stay on track. But me, I want to say without fear. Na plug kuna kitu tuliongea pale nyuma. Mr. President, you are a very spiritual man. And you are a very prayerful man. And you know what you have done. You have listened to the people. And the voice of the people is the voice of God. Mr. President, you are on the right track. Do not leave the track. For the very first time, after 2.5 years, Eric Omondi is uttering these words. You are on the right track. You have done well to throw everyone under the bus. God will judge you rightfully. Ulikuwa mahali lazima uwatupe under the bus. Mr. President, it is okay for you to save yourself. Because me, I have a feeling. Ruto akisema pengine, siko sure, akisema huyu mama mboga, huyu bodaboda. We don't know, maybe he meant it. But when alingia kwa governor, akasurroundiwa na all these CSS, all these friends, all these cronies, wakamwambia wewe bwana wacha hiyo. Mama mboga gani? Hii serikali ni yetu. Si wanasemanga kwa Barambe? Wanasemanga hii serikali ni yetu. So maybe Ruto is not the problem. Nasema maybe. I'm yet to see. Maybe now Ruto atarudi kwa ile promise alisema. Juu saizi, uli notice jana Ruto after amalize pressa, akiwa kubak uli notice ako peke yake. It was a very weird scene. Yeah. He was alone, hakuna Waiguru, hakuna mtu, alijifungulia mpaka mlango. That is where the president is, and it's the best place to be. So jana alilala peke yake, akaangalia ceiling boards. Akafikiria, where did the rain start beating us? What did they promise Kenyans? What is going on with my country? So ana reflect. So maybe Ruto meant the promises he made until he got into office. Yeah? So, Mr. President, on the right track, make sure umelift wa Kenya, make sure you have a lean. How many cabinet secretaries were there?
Jana,
huh? 20, reduce cabinet to 14. Kuna zingine kama nini? Hii ababu iko sawa, alimix ni youth. Ha? Arts. Sasa ukiwa na youth, najua ni kazi mob. But si tunalipwa tufanye kazi. Kuna youth, sports, gender. Hapo sasa, hapo gender ndio noma. But wangeweka gender na arts. Arts and culture iko kwa gender. Waeke kwa youth. Juu, youth ndio arts. Kuna time nilikuwa natafuta sponsorship, nikaenda kwa ofisi ya youth. Alafu venye alifungua proposal, akaniambia hii ni arts. Juu ilikuwa event. So, unaget, na ICT, maybe tusiende sana. But I'm sure we can have 14 cabinet secretaries. Livestock and mining. Livestock, mining, agriculture, pap. Nipatie ingine. We can get to 14, bro. Unaget?